Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the hottest show on the planet right now. This is the Call of Duty League, and of course, my name is aBeZy, your host, and it's good to be back so far from what we've seen so far. I'm breaking down the games, though, with the smartest people on the desk. We got aLLeY and Nameless right here, and this game right here is a Battle of LA, and as a California fan, I'm going to absolutely love it. But first things first, let's break down the games, the teams, and we're going to start off with LAG. Now, speaking of LAG, okay, aLLeY, this is the best LA team so far, and this was totally unexpected.
I mean, I don't know totally about unexpected. It's a lot of talent on this roster, but the giant question was, would they mesh well together? And as of late, yeah, they have been. Slasher has made a huge turnaround. It feels like the Slasher of old. He has a 1.05 overall, and then, of course, you have Huke with a 1.41 in S&D for Stage 2 right now, so he's starting to heat up as well.
Right, and when it comes to the game field keys of victory, I'm going to be completely honest. LAG, I'm looking at them to really get streaky when it comes to that first hard point, but what else do they need, aLLeY?
Well, they got to limit LA Thieves' dominance on P2 Berlin. These outscoring opponents 30-13 plus 17 on average, and find success on the second S&D map. 4-3 in Berlin, 1-5 on all other maps, so that's just going to come down to vetoes and opportunity in the control. Thieves is 9th in round win percentage and 1-5 on Tuscan this season, so capitalize on your weaknesses.
Right, and take a look at LAG's stats. They're pretty well rounded when it comes to every single game type, but they're in the negatives when it comes to control and search and destroy. Yeah. They can happen to win that out. I feel like they can have a good chance against the LA Thieves. And Nameless, when it comes to LAT right now, just like what we were talking about with Toronto Ultra, they need to win.
Yeah, they have to win or they'll end up in losers bracket.
Yeah.
But for LA Thieves, you know, search and destroy, it's been tough for them, but this is a good series. I mean, you saw that second key to victory there for LAG. Like, they have not been good on maps outside of Berlin. Teams have been continuously testing LAG on Berlin, and it hasn't worked out too well for them. So for LA Thieves going into this one, you know, you get a Bow Cage, which is, you know, a map you've had some success on at 2-1, and then you have a Desert Siege where you're 1-2 on. But most recently, I believe that Desert Siege versus OpTic Texas, they won like 6-0. But let's get into the game fuel keys to victory for the Los Angeles Thieves. S&D is the path to contention. Absolutely, especially in this series, this is really where you'll be able to get it done. That game 2 in particular, 6-11 record so far this season. That's got to get better. And then play aggressive and together in 4v3 S&D situations. Last in man advantage round win percentage at 63%. We talked about this, you know, after the last match. At times you see Octane or Kenny get a first blood, and then Envoy will be out by his lonesome. If he ends up getting a following kill, they end up winning the round. If he dies, then in the 3v3 retake situation, they're not great. And then moving on to the last key, have a game plan for your retakes and search and destroy, which is kind of what I just touched on. Last and neutral retake win percentage. So it's just in the early round, the decision making is not great for the LA Thieves, and it's leading to losses for this team.
And when it comes to LAT, they're going to have to play as a team and be a lot more consistent than what we've seen before. But ladies and gentlemen, for the Battle of LA, we're going to send this over to Bryson. This isn't a European team playing in this game right now. How do you guys feel about this?
Very, very good. We're always here for good Call of Duty, and the Battle of A is shaping up to be exactly that. These two teams, kind of a mixed bag for them in terms of the CDL so far, Ton, but let's find out how they're looking the weekend before the major.
Yeah, important game coming up for both these two teams. I think for both of them, it's about bouncing back. For LA Thieves, it's about maybe fixing that search and destroy finally. I'm not too sure if it's going to happen today, but look, I mean, this is going to be quite a difficult game for both two teams. There's basically, it's one of these for the side of Guerrillas. They try and force the search and destroys to see if you can get that map number 5, see if you can steal one of the respawns away, and see if you can then continue to punch Thieves in their worst game mode. I mean, that's going to be the thing for them, but I mean, realistically, their search and destroy is kind of being hit and miss as well. So it's a bit of a strange one. We looked at the maps beforehand as well, which we'll go through maybe after game number 1, and we kind of didn't like them. And Tuscan Hardpoint was one we didn't like for LAG, but the last time the Thieves played it, it didn't look good for them either. So it's a curious one. Let's see how LAG do.
At the moment, Octane opening up off the rip. Just looking for a few kills here, and Envoy managed to get that pinch round as well. Good opener for LA Thieves straight away onto this one, but I'm predicting a very back and forth game. The realistic kind of thing between these two teams is neither has looked dominant in any way. Lots of weaknesses and lots to shape up before they get to the major.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird series, isn't it? I think nobody's quite sure which way it's going to go. Your pick comes in this one. It'll be a quite split across the board. I'd imagine a lot of people probably lean towards Thieves just for their well, sheer talent on the roster, and we know what they can bring. But the problem is that we haven't seen enough of it. Right now, though, plenty of hill time coming in here for LAG. They'll be able to lock down a good amount of time around the outside, and they're going to be trying to get this push on through. You can see the Thieves still getting that spawn over towards P2, though important. Keep an eye on Gunlist, though. He's the one trying to break that effect.
Gunner's managing to slip the net here a little bit. Should be able to find something from this. Looking for that first go into Kenny though. Draz is going to lock down platform before anything more can come through, and it will be Thieves to clear the board here. Well, could have been a bit of a big flank coming in from Gunners, but at the moment it will be LAG heading from the back.
Oh, that's big. Asim's going to get the kill now. He's going to be able to push through towards the side. Yes, there you go. 2 kills coming on through. There should be a good amount of time for LAG now. Looking towards the minimap as well. Yeah, they've got the complete control over towards radio. This is good setup from the side of LAG. Slasher needing to keep an eye on his back. I'm surprised not to see anybody from Thieves trying to make that mid-map push. Now they're just going to all try and funnel through the one side. Kill's going to come in. Maybe able to break here, Bryce.
They are trying. They are going for a little bit, maybe of a last hurrah here, but we will be seeing that rotation come in from both teams very, very shortly. At the moment, Thieves got one last roll of the dice. Kenny will take it eventually, and they are going to spawn out towards Tile, so they will have this controlled here, of course. Some new spawns around P3 on this map, making it a little bit harder to hold.
Oh, we've seen now they goes huge there to find the second. Huke will actually trade it out as we get the rotational kills on the go. And yeah, I mean, that's a really good hold by Guerrillas, all things said. They weren't the first ones there by any stretch of the imagination. But look at this little bit of a split that's going on. Octane around the outside, but 3 dead momentarily. That's very, very quickly. They're going to fall down. All on Drawset to stay alive towards the back. Spawns in towards Tiles for Thieves. LAG got a bit of a hold on this here.
LAG do have at the moment Gunners gunning that first player down who does challenge him as well. Looking for the next one. Not going to be able to get it. Envoy goes down. Huke gets a second one at the same time. LA Thieves are towards the back, but they're not having the most opportunity to actually get time onto this. Slasher staying alive.
Oh, wow.
Looking for those players coming through at the same time. It may be they go for another hard push here, Ton.
Yeah, Kenny had a flank on one of the players coming around the side of grass and nearly would have worked out, but ultimately it actually doesn't matter. LA Thieves will clear this one out. We're still getting the spawns over towards back Tiles, and that's obviously always influential. We have seen the spawns maybe take some development for some of the teams to try and control a little bit better over towards P3, we'll put it that way. We'll see as the season goes on and teams start to get a little bit more control over it. They may be able to get a better understanding of how they work completely, because I think everyone's still trying to figure it out as the new spawns do come on through. But heading over towards Church is a good look in here for Guerrillas. Thieves only picked up around 30 or so over towards P3, so not necessarily the best start for the Thieves. Envoy will get a free kill there on Huke though. Here comes the entry. It's just far too easy. Where's the comms there from LAG? It's complete control for Envoy over towards back Church, and that was just it was far too easy, to be honest with you, Bryce.
It certainly was. Envoy manages to completely crack this one open, and it should, if they can hold the rest of this time, put LA Thieves into the lead. But look at the Guerrillas trying to stack this one up and hit side Church and back at the same time. Envoy trying to lock it down, but actually not being able to get any kills. His teammates do pick them up as the trades come through thick and fast in Church, and it will be Thieves who manage to walk away with it.
Yeah, they're going to pick up this final bit of scrap there as well. Yeah, I mean, the questions have to be asked. There's good shots coming in from Kenny. When Envoy gets that kill, top Church, where else is he going to go from that situation? I mean, nobody watching side door whatsoever, and finds 3. Incomplete breaks the hill, but heading over towards the next hill, that's where we're going to concentrate our efforts now. Asim wants to get in there as best as he can. Draz is actually going to make the push out. That's far too easy once again, but I'll play from Draz. Asim now trying to get back inside.
Well, both teams trying to hold this one down just at the moment. Obviously, a lot of tacticals, a lot of nades flying around from both teams. Huke tries to make the play through the middle. I think that gets picked up by Asim. And now Slasher putting it through, but nades coming to the rescue again for Thieves. Gunners does get 2 and breaks this one open. Looks for the third on it. Kenny says, thank you, we'll have our time if we can. And even the flank isn't going to shut down Guerrillas here. But it has been a mixy hard point. There is very little daylight between these two teams.
It seems made a bit of a route over towards the back Church here as well. May well get the spawns for his team for that side. Ultimately, yes, there is still a lot of time before we do head over towards P2, but it could be influential. He is going to survive. And let's see the setup here, though, for Thieves nonetheless. We'll have one rotation of hills. Looks like Gorilla is obviously picking up the final amount of scrap. It's all about fighting for these spawns, fighting for a little bit of control. Right now, Asim is in a really good spot to just be a pain. The rest of the team may well just push through mid, and Asim ready and waiting on the outside with the MP40 to head through.
You can see this is a very, very practiced setup. They're going to try and break this one as well. Kenny, though, has managed to sit all the way back 3 to lock it down. Huke, though, and Asim both breaking it open, causing severe issues for Thieves. They try to go over the top. Huke trying to do some acrobatics. It hasn't exactly worked out for them so far, but Guerrillas have got a great break there off the back of Asim.
Asim still on a bit of a spree here. Finds 2. He may well find the 3rd. It's going to be Huke who manages to take it out, but Asim on the 6th spree. We know how influential these can be. Yeah, doesn't want to challenge them. Does have the pistol to help them along as well, but momentarily left all alone. Kenny with the good shots as well. And Thieves will break it back. But my goodness, I mean, for Asim there, he's the one that really helps the team find that initial break. Thieves have bounced back, but Guerrillas currently the ones with the P2 rotations.
It certainly is. Well, the Thieves have got an awful lot to do here as they go for this next rotation. Let's find out how they're feeling, though, with the Los Angeles Thieves. Listen in.
I'm gonna play 5 minutes.
I'm gonna go mess with that. Sam, okay, go for it.
I'll go short.
Yeah. Oh, bottom church. Bottom church.
Front church weak. Ace him. He's inside front door church.
I'm looking for him.
I
can Nero Tom. I can Nero Tom.
Down middle maps.
Yeah, I'll mid. I'll see.
Don't hop. Let's in the back.
On the deep stairs. One short of me, one shot church. They're 2 church.
I can get your short in a second.
They're both one shot.
One shot in the back, Pierce. Double cross it. 2 church, 2 back.
I need every time.
Hold your back, Ellie.
Hey, I'm looking at it.
I'm looking for
2 in the back.
I need it out.
Matt late, bro. Matt's late.
Back alley weak. 2 back alley. That's you. Up plat.
Bro. I live back alley, Tom.
Shot.
Hey, I'm coming.
No, one shot plat. Absolute free kill. He's out.
Hey, top short.
He jumped up on. Absolute. I'm telling me somewhere.
Oh my god, spawn on the map, bro.
I'll see Tom, bros.
I'm playing right.
Let's do it.
Alright, they're pinned here. I spawned in middle.
I spawned mid too, bro.
I'm holding mid. Top church, dead.
Nice. I have P1. Let's hold P1. I'm mid.
What's on all?
Okay, I'll back up for new.
Yeah. Top church to me. Top church here. Nice. Back
Okay.
I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, top church.
I got him cut. If he chops. Top church not challenging me, bro.
One on me, taking it well.
Top church not challenging. He just holding church.
2 people on me.
Top church not challenging me. Top church down mid. I'm mid.
Nice, one's P1 as well, guys.
2 roof.
I spawned mid. You gotta play that guy.
Get off the square.
You want Pierce?
I can't see that guy. I went top red. Nice.
Get him. Close mid lane. He's going Ivy. I see in the back too.
Ivy.
Lay down square.
Square, lay down. On the back, yeah.
Jump
in the back of me. I gotta live. It's gonna be behind me still.
Fantastic stuff from Guerrillas to keep this one locked in, but for Thieves there, it was a little bit difficult to get much of time over towards P2. They're trying their best to get as much as they can over towards P3, but the spawns are going to come in here for Guerrillas after an initial very good break. Now the push is going to start coming on through, and you already see on your map that Huke is making that transition. 15 seconds to go. They want to make sure they get these rotations heading over towards church.
At the moment, you can see both of these two teams try and lock this one in. There hasn't really been an awful lot of difference between them. Some big plays, some individual rotations, and this could be a very different game. However, you can see now the LAG are trying to break this one through. Draz is going to be the first stopgap. Going to see Huke there as well. Going for the old shoulder peeks at the moment. Draz are trying to get Huke down as well. That's been a big fight towards back tank.
Huke's going to be there. Has the presence. But where's the push coming from? Needs the rest of his team to be here. With currently stunned up, isn't able to do much. It's actually going to be on Envoy to maybe push around behind here as the rest of the team now start to posture over towards top church. There's a huge 2-piece from Draza to lock this one in, and this should be Thieves still getting control. Huke is here, but Draza finds his third. He's done so well there. Just seen it on the mini-map as the fourth comes on through. He holds top church, finds 2 huge kills, no right to find them. And that's ultimately why Thieves are able to lock in a good 45 seconds here. That's phenomenal from him. We haven't seen as much from Draza as of recent as what we see in the beginning of the season, but phenomenal work inside the church. He's a big reason why they get so much time back.
Well, they've managed to get the time, but can they now break this next one and not let that slip back away? LAG currently in control, but Kenny will open it straight back up here, but they are still going to be outnumbered. Kenny gets a second player as well, waiting for the reinforcements to hit at the same time, trying to wall bag a Seam all the way through. Still can't get him down. A Seam somehow staying alive here, and that hasn't allowed Thieves to really get close.
Oh my god, a Seam is absolutely cracked. Look at the man go, 30 and 22. Now the push is going to come from one direction from Thieves here. I'd love to see when he split mid-map just to try and get some sort of control towards stairs. They will find 2 though. The break's looking like it's coming. Slasher falls as well. Really nice from the Thieves. They need a breakthrough. They need a hold, but Huke still alive and kicking, trying to break back.
Well, massive amount of nades in there. Eventually, he's going to take out one of his teammates. Gunless going to try and not let him get this scratch.
Oh my god.
Entrance in from as well, and Draza takes 1,000,000 bullets. Somehow gets out of it, and Thieves will have control here. Keep an eye on that mini-map, though. Kenny is ready towards near P1. Has that first gun down. He's looking to get away for his teammates. Will be shut down now, but it's a big pinch coming in from Thieves. They have the rotation now. They have the advantage, and it will be Guerrillas who need to find a way back into this hill.
Huge from Kenny, and the rest of the team win their gunfights coming through mid as well. But it's the distraction from Kenny that makes the difference. 20 seconds away here for Thieves. Huke is going to fall. Can he find the second here? Draza not quite. Seen through mid. They've got 2 players coming in through mid. It's actually the LAG who find the break. All 4 dead. Still 40 away. They can't quite win it here, Brycey. Thieves still can. Thieves have to try and find this breaking through, but it's hard when a Seam is doing this in the back of the map. That is outrageous, a Seam.
Only get taken down by his teammate, but Huke's now trying to do the same thing. It's not going to be enough. Thieves are coming in force. They are moving with numbers to try and retake this back. They do not want to give away any points that they can, and aBeZy will come back in and body them, and we are going to this next rotation. Currently, the Guerrillas have control.
aBeZy on absolute ice skates towards the back of Church. That was insane. Slashing out with the angle, just looking for the tippity top of the heads of the LA Thieves as they're going to start breaking on through. It's 8 points away here for Guerrillas. Not total control. The break from Draza helps.
This is tense now. The Thieves have to come in. They have to go. They need to find something somewhere, and a player jumps straight into it, but instantly taken back down. And the Guerrillas will take this one away. They had the rotation, they had the opportunity, but what they didn't have was any sort of control on aBeZy, who just went mad and started farming.
That is, I mean, how many players have we commentated over this year so far with LAG pulling something out of the hat and it being because of aBeZy? That was absurd. How on earth has he? I mean, the couple of kills that he found in and around the little cove, okay, fair enough, but the third one was disgraceful. And the fact that he finds them as well in such an important area, breaks down the Thieves push, and also gives them spawns for P2 for the LAG. Basically wins the map on his own. 40 and 27. Wasn't the first time he popped off either. That is insane from aBeZy. I mean, he doesn't necessarily put the team on the back, but they are game-winning plays out of the youngster. Absolutely love to see it from him.
Yeah, dropping some serious numbers. And keep an eye, by the way, of those serious numbers of what aBeZy is doing in this highlights clip. 19 and 15 right now, but the way he ended this game, I think it's 40 and 27. So he goes just berserk from this point onwards and really helps nail it down for the Guerrillas. There were some big plays coming out of Kenny as well, of course. He starts really putting it up and holding it down for his team at the same time. You can see that in the highlights as well, but yeah, a lot of great individual performances from both of these two teams, and it did really come down to the wire difference maker, aBeZy.
Yeah, it has to be said. I mean, look, it wasn't the cleanest of games from either one of the teams in terms of the rotations, but I mean, LAG, they pulled that out, and that makes the difference. I mean, Thieves were 15 points away. The setup looked really good. The initial was really, really nice heading over towards this P1. Once again, I mean, we probably get to see it. The first opening kills came in so well. We won't get to see, but Kenny did great. And then they just fall apart. That second kill, yeah, on Octane with a pistol, that one is outrageous. He absolutely flies at him. And it looked so good for so long over towards P1 for Thieves there. And then, well, heading over towards P2, it's always going to be difficult when LAG get a hold of these spawns, thanks to aBeZy finding those 3 kills towards the back. That is a very, very big win for LAG to get a hold of there, considering how Thieves have looked overall in the general scheme of things. That is huge for the side of LAG. Let's have a look at the map so to end the series off. If we do need it, Berlin and Desert Siege are the last 2, but the way that LAG are playing right now, and Thieves record on Search and Destroy, who knows if we'll need more than 3 maps at this rate price.
It's a very good point as well. That 3-piece by aBeZy was incredible. The most crazy part of it for me, by the way, is the fact that I've heard of strafe jumping, but I've never seen someone strafe jump forward into a gunfight. Like, it was almost like he was just flying, like jetpacks had come back or something. It's like, yeah, I'll just kill everybody going around. But yeah, kind of an insane 3-piece by aBeZy, really kind of just putting forward. And it was obviously just one of the great moments of it. Like, look at this, obviously moving forward to push this hard point out and grab these players off the spawn. Gets this kill, and he gets it, and then somehow it's just jumping forward into this gunfight. Who jumps forward into a gunfight?
Was Kenny weak? I hope he was. He had his 6 HP in the end. It's actually just aBeZy's teammate Standy who takes him down there in the end, but ultimately that's huge, because I think if you're Thieves there, you get cleared out initially after holding your, well, I mean, the rotation actually worked out really well for Thieves. They locked that one in. They get cleared out, and it's like, right, okay, look, LAG will be in a good spot to win this game here, but they can't win it there. So let's go with the rotations. But the fact that aBeZy then finds them 3 kills, throws that plan out of the window. You get completely broke for these rotations. And yeah, okay, maybe they shouldn't have gotten broken so easily over towards P1 on that final rotation, but still, you have that small caveat of having the spawns for P2, but no, you don't, because aBeZy finds that. So look, you can account for certain things in terms of rotations, but you can't account for those sort of players from aBeZy. Yeah, I mean, he should absolutely get traded, no doubt in my mind, but at the same time, when those plays are made, those are game-winning plays from aBeZy. You would have liked to think that Thieves probably locked that map in if that doesn't happen. So really, really big moment for him to go off and do that, and ultimately, Thieves will look back at that one. There were some mistakes, but you can't account for that kind of thing.
No, you can't. And that's the difference. That's the X factor. And sometimes it can just be something as small as that difference in games. But we have more game modes to come. Search and Destroy is up next. And these are our top performers. Octane and Huke, a 1.05 on the side of Octane and a 1.13 on the side of Huke. Two very famous players in Call of Duty history.
Yeah, very, very strong S&D players and very, very strong S&D teams, you would think, looking at the rosters. But I mean, honestly, they haven't necessarily looked fantastic overall in general on any of the on any of the S&D maps, to be honest with you. And going into
training method there from Octane, I was going to say, he's pre-flashbanged himself just to make sure that they don't affect him in game. Genius.
I absolutely loved the the listening that we got, actually, if anybody caught Octane falling off the map during that. Keen ears. Anyway, nonetheless, look, we're heading into a barrage here, and it's not a complete reset on the map, of course, but not really a huge collective from either one of these two teams. It's not very often played by either one of them, but of course, with the bomb site switch up, it's kind of a bit of a curveball from both teams in that sense. They sort of say, right, okay, we're happy to play it. Let's see how it's going to go. Some teams, you know, with the change completely, get rid of it. But I mean, with the change coming on through, both these two teams have a little bit of a new test against each other.
Well, they will, of course. Thieves do hold the better record on this Search and Destroy, but a little bit of change to the bomb site. We'll see how these teams do eventually adapt. And Gunners will get first blood traded straight away here. And you've got to ask yourself, when the kind of the difference that comes through in the way that teams have got to set up onto this, you wonder what tactics have been found, what spots have been found. And really, the last week or so has got to be about these teams kind of mind gaming this.
Oh, and Kenny just using the bomb as complete cover there. Fantastic work. Really hard to see the player through, but there's a Huke here around the back. I'm saying it's a seam around the back because usually that is the case, but a seam here now with the ornament and down the outside is surely going to get rushed by Envoy. Here he comes, and there's the round for Thieves. They do really well there. Kenny just staying alive, being a nuisance behind that bomb. I suppose you could think about the grenades. They should really be coming over in that sort of area, but I mean, the grenades have probably been saved for the player where you would think he would be, which is back tank. So behind the bomb is a good spot. Really good work by Kenny. And that ultimately just slows down the push that was coming in from LAG there, and it's just cleanup crew coming on through. After that, good work from the Thieves here. Maybe the change up of sight on Barrage is maybe going to give a change up to the S&D for 100 Thieves here, I wonder.
Well, let's see. In a moment. A little bit of a push actually coming straight through here. They're going to be looking towards gate and mid as already gunfights have kicked off from both teams. Double chow coming through, and it will work out for them. A trade that goes equal at the very worst. And now you can see they're trying to play around this bomb site, trying to figure out where they are. Gunless holding towards the back. That door's been slightly open, and Gunless has spotted it. But Envoy throw another shoulder. And they've come out, the stuns come out, and Kenny's managed to get Slasher as well. And Gunless now kind of trapped in a corner, and it's not going to be good enough. Kenny says thank you very much.
Always an awkward spot there. Really good shots coming in from Kenny. I think as soon as they clear Slasher, that should be 100 Thieves round, and rightfully so. They do find the kill on the Gunless. I mean, he was dead to rights anyway, even if he kills Kenny. I think he does very well to kill the sliding Envoy, I believe. But I think that for Thieves, what their tactic is when going over towards that A site, it's still ground mine control, because then you can kind of clear out a couple of different spots that can launch that bomb and then ultimately transition over there quite quickly. But you still kind of have to consider what's going on. The fact that you don't find too much inside of Grandma's, yes, okay, you find the initial kill on bottom. You would presume there's somebody over towards back tank. LAG have somebody there. They clear them out very well. Play from the Thieves so far.
A little bit of a slower game here from LAG at the moment. Looking for that information, trying to figure out how exactly the Thieves have broken this one down in their defense. Well, they're not really pushing any which direction. They are just looking for any sort of weakness they can exploit. And Kenny's going to get the first blood. That's not what they wanted.
Well. Yeah, gets out as well. Not necessarily in a spot that you want to be in if you do get caught. But very well played. Now draws out, and he is going to get caught himself as well. Look at this push that came in, and who was watching that one? Unfortunately, nobody. It seems as if Octane kind of has an angle there, but the close wall push comes through. There's a kill. 3v2 now. Still doable here for LAG. If they can find one more pick, get the bomb down, make it interesting.
Looks like they might try to go for an A plant here. Huke just trying to figure out where everybody is now. I think he's just seen Kenny at the back. And he's going to go for it as well. Tries to put a few shots down at the same time. He is running this inside. I think he's got bad timing, though. He hasn't seen this pass go through, but a scene is equal to it. He has managed to get one. Back down into a 2 versus 2. As that bomb goes down, and Huke gets another. And now it's Envoy in a 1 versus 2. And down he goes. It seems says thank you and takes that one with the pistol. And a lot could have gone wrong there for Thieves, but it didn't. And they walk away. Sorry,
I mean,
for Guerrillas.
Yeah, I made that mistake a couple of times already. But for Thieves, one of the keys to victory, we said, you know, these 4v3 S&D situations have not been working out in their favor. Still, that's an advantageous S&D situation that they were in. 3v2 on the defense. That's the kind of round that should be putting you 3-0 up. So for Thieves, that's something to work on, but really well played by Simp. Once he finds that opening kill, it makes things a little bit more difficult, and very well played from Huke just to get Grandma control. Quite an aggressive push here coming in from Thieves, but Huke up top and Grandma's dangerous spot for the Thieves to try and push.
Seems to try and make a little bit of a play here. Hasn't managed to. And I think they know that's come through now. With that door open, Simp wants to do something.
Oh, push is going to come
opening his face, and Envoy has got it.
Yeah, very well played. The thing is that the information was found from Simp as soon as he sees that little peek around the side door. That's a little bit of a problem for Thieves, but then because Thieves wrap back around, he kind of gets caught out. Now here comes the push through the middle, but Huke in the middle of nowhere comes from behind at Grandma's, and now he's in a really decent spot to maybe try and do something here, but everybody from Thieves is around a 1v3 for Gunless.
Yeah, and unfortunately they know where Gunless is now, so they will play about him. He needs to really get out of this back spawn as quickly as possible if he wants to make this. Already making a move himself, looking for that first player, knows where Kenny is, and Kenny will have called that out as well. And that's when it gets bad for Gunless, doesn't win the first gunfight and does go down. That's another one on the board for Thieves.
I'll play from the Thieves that. I think Huke making that push around behind doesn't maybe realize how many people are inside of Grandma's there. Does find that first initial kill. I think if he finds a second, it definitely becomes doable for the side of LAG. But Thieves finding that kill onto him, lock down Grandma's control, know exactly where Gunless is. It's a walk in the park from there. And I think it's curious to see how teams are going to adapt on this one, because you do see a couple of different situations coming on through. You do see a lot of control over towards the back tank and over towards in and around A, but then you see a lot of stacking in towards Grandma's, leaning over towards the B side and just hoping that you can kind of lull LAG into not pushing it, but they have pushed it this time around, so it's going to probably have to be a retake for Thieves here.
Now, with that bomb going down, huge advantage with that first kill as well. Can he manage to get one back on the board here? And tries to get to another, and suddenly Guerrillas are on the back foot. Having to defend this from the outside. They're looking for it as well, and Envoy has gone wide out towards P2 to get it. And now Slasher all alone to 1 versus 3. And he's going to be taken down as well. Envoy's just run rampant around Barn and cut their defense of this bomb to bits.
Yeah, I think for LAG there in that scenario, you really need your guys around the bomb not to die. They push out towards the back immediately. They're not clearing it out initially. And I can't specifically remember who died straight away as soon as that bomb goes down, but Kenny's ready and waiting for the push to come on through. But you have the setup at Bard to watch the bomb. Do you really need to push that out with an SMG towards the back? I don't think you really do, to be honest with you. Grandma's control, Barn control would have been fine there for LAG. They maybe try and spread their wings a little bit too far and get them clipped. Well played from the LA Thieves. Just patient on that retake. Very well played. Clear those initial players out. You know exactly where they're going to be sort of chilling if you are the LAG. Can't get anything done, and 4-1 up. They're cruising at the minute, Bryce.
Stun, I don't know if that meant to go where it was, but it doesn't matter. Envoy is on a hot streak anyway. Already going for this push straight away.
I like this from a Simp. I like this from a Simp. Yeah, he doesn't even show himself and just waits for that push to overextend. First blood to LAG.
Can they capitalize on this first blood, though? That is the question. Checking every single angle. Huke looking for information through every tiny little gap in this wood. And Thieves have gone still, though. Draws is trying to make a move, and he's going to find it as well. Opens up Gunless towards the back, brings us back to a 3 versus 3. Goes through the first door and continues to move very, very quickly through as he's just clearing every single room for his team. And while he's doing this and making all this noise, his teammates have gone, all right, we'll get B now.
Yeah, he really just pushes through a gap in the defense of LAG. Nobody watching the road alley push, and oh yeah, he's going to see a Simp here as well. Oh my god, it's actually Huke who finds the kill on him, so they clear it out. Now it's going to be about wrapping through the map for LAG.
Oh, they're getting together here, but I think as we've seen, Kenny has found one of them as well. Tries to go for it. Octane gets a second. And now Slasher left in a 1 versus 1 as he does get the first. Looking for that one at the back, and he challenges Kenny as well. Slasher with the ice this time. Gets the clutch, locks it in, and that'll be a point on the board for Guerrillas. It looked like a horrible situation. Benefit for Slasher, though, as he had the idea of where those players were.
Who could have seen dial in the mid-map there? It does give him that information, and while Slasher wasn't on the board until then, finds 2 kills, comes down to the 1v1 with Kenny, and remember, it's the Slasher World League, everybody. Gets the job done. Very well played from Slasher there, and I think, you know, Thieves do a really good job on the initial, doing absolutely nothing wrong. up until the end of the round. That 1v2 probably shouldn't have happened. You'll notice somebody over towards the back, or will you? That's the thing. The Slashers wrapped all the way through. They didn't continue to get control towards the back spawn, and well, Thieves get punished for it. Still 4-2 up, though, still in a good spot.
A little bit of a slower play now. Just trying to figure this out. Trying to look at that hit marker, trying to figure out if they could find anyone towards the back.
Absolute artillery towards Kenny, by the way. Well, you don't need the nades because Slash will find his third. A lot of utility wasted on that, though, so they tried to clear it out. They have cleared it out, but do they know Draza is here?
Sneaky Draza. Oh, it's very, very sneaky. It's not quite enough to get it in. Gunners finds one as well. Octane's gone down. Envoy's managed to just get out and get one kill back. The Guerrillas now have the numbers. Envoy moving fast here. Is he going to try and kill this bomb player? And he thinks he's probably here. He's going to find Slash from the tank. Slasher's more than ready. They know where Draza is as well, and he will get the first. It will be a 1v3 if he can make it. He puts Hot Feet down, and Gunless cuts off the retreat. Guerrillas not going quietly on this S&D at all.
Absolutely not. It was looking very one-sided on the initial few rounds, but I think there, as soon as Slasher opens that up, you know exactly what's going on for LAG. They're getting control of it in and around A, and, well, kind of just take it slow from there. Draza's unfortunate not to find something. I think if he does, that opens things up, and he was just surviving, so LAG were maybe a little bit slow on that push, which kind of helped them. They were in a spot for then LA Thieves to try and retake that site. That slow push works out. Into the next round. That's 2 rounds in a row for LAG here. Look at this. Oh! Kenny's done really well to actually find one. Huke will be able to answer back, but not very quickly. So LAG crumbling on the defensive side of things here. Bryce here would have expected something to come of that.
Well, this is where they've got to try and make another peak, bring it back to a 2 versus 2, and Gunner shuts the window at the wrong time. Well, the right time, considering there's going to be players going straight past him here as well. Slasher's going to have to back him up. Gunner wants to pick off this. I don't know if he's going to find one, though. And Draza has managed to figure out exactly where he is. 1v3 for Slasher. He had the 1v2 last time. Is this a step too far?
Maybe
yes.
It will be. Yeah, there you go. Yes, it is. I think that's always a little bit difficult, isn't it? Gunless in that kind of spot just gets a little bit of bad timing. And it's that initial break, though, that comes in from LAG. When they commit so much towards River, it automatically gives up that side of the map, or the other side of the map, I should say, towards the LA Thieves, you would think. And they kind of just take that in their stride, make their move over after finding a couple of kills over towards that side anyway, and it's just that little bit easier when you have that number advantage. Gunless left in that role that he needs to find something on the cross, and just as I said, gets a little bit of bad timing. So 5-3 for Thieves now. 3 opportunities to close it out. Let's see if they can get it done.
Well, Guerrillas being a little bit more circumspect this attack. Oh, bit of information there actually for LA Thieves. Those nades come in. They do hit a seam, which does mean they kind of know roughly that this is looking like an A push. Draza's already set up inside. Kenny coming to back it as well. And that nade, did that nade actually get through? No, it didn't. Bounced off. Take it down as well. Kenny almost gets his head ripped clean off. The Guerrillas are doing a really good job at the moment of keeping Thieves on the back foot on A.
Yeah, Thieves are doing a good job at staying alive, though, and I don't think Huke will be ready for this. I think he just gets the info, gets out, but how many did he see? Oh, he's going to find the push. Look at the snap onto Octane. Can he find a second? Not quite. Thieves' aggression might pay off here. Oh, wow, Slasher. Oh, my word. I mean, it didn't pay off at all. I mean, LAG just ready and waiting. Ready and waiting for that push to come on through. I think as soon as Huke finds that first and then the second comes through, they kind of set up and know it's coming. Slasher does a great job at staying alive top bomb.
Yeah, I think the information on that, obviously, you know, I did say before, they've done a really good job of pushing back Thieves on A, and obviously the call came in, right, let's all just hit flank now. They're clearly going to plan A, we need to do something. You getting that information and getting a kill as well allowed the rest of the time to the team time to set up and actually deflect that push, because it could have been disastrous for them. But it is still 1 round away here for Thieves. Can they find this attack?
I like this aggression from Draza. I don't like the fact that he has the bomb, though. That's unfortunately what's going to stop him then advancing on through and maybe trying to get Gromma's control. So here for Thieves, looking like a B push going to come on through. These grenades are going to have to be good to maybe try and find something, and there you go. Great grenade from Octane over towards the back. Well coordinated with the rest of the team. They clear that out now, and what do LAG do here? Do they stick or do they twist?
Looking, just don't think the team has seen anybody yet. That is slowly tightening the net around him, and he's going to find the first one and does get out.
Simon.
Brings this back to a 3 versus 3. Are they going to re-chat him up top? He's going to play underneath. No, but Huke managed to get one on the flank as well. Guerrillas checks the B bomb site. And Gunners gets another one. Thieves had the first blood this round, and since then they found nothing. And Kenny's left in a 1 versus 3 with the bomb about as far away from him as it could be.
I didn't actually see him when the gunfight came on down, but you have to query why the bomb is all the way back there. Nonetheless, though, for the Thieves, that's going to be a very hard round for Kenny to win. LAG, though, I mean, for a team kind of just patrolling that area, checks window, checks the broken wall, gets himself back down and just checks downstairs. That little bit timing that comes on through from there, that kind of works out and completely shuts down that push. But LA Thieves, this is getting quite difficult. LA Thieves actually controlling that side of the map quite well. When they initially clear out Slasher, you're in a good spot to make that push. You get a bit of road control, get a bit of Grombo's control, but Asim shuts that down. 5-5, round 11. It was 4-1 at one point, Brice.
Yeah, and that's the nervous thing now. Guerrillas again, probably going to be looking for a little bit of A control if they can start pushing Thieves back at the same time. But neither team wants to give up first blood here in this round 11. You can see Guerrillas just setting back. Slasher with the wide peak, looking for anybody. Desperate to try and find this first blood.
So Thieves actually set up over towards B, but as soon as nothing's happening, they send somebody back over towards back tank. So Kenny's still there. You can hear the grenades popping off all over the place. But for the side of LAG, you got anything else to clear out the back? Don't think you will. This pushover is going to come on through his envoy. Going to check it. Did he get the time? And did he see him? I think he might have done, you know, because you can see Draws has made the push.
I don't know if he has. But I'll tell you something. Guerrillas have played this one very, very slow. They are burning time to try and get this down. Eventually, they are going to have to call this one. Kenny is going to be the first one to figure it out.
Did he see Gunless?
I don't know if he did. He's just playing his life over and over again. Draws is here to back it up. He's going to try and check it as well, but Huke takes him down. Could only have seen him for a half a second and does get that first blood as well, though. Kenny gets one. That bomb has not gone down. Huke was worried. Gunners goes to check it with a wide peek, and he does get it against him as well. Kenny gets a second one. Slasher at the back finds one at the same time. It's now a 1 versus 1. Envoy versus Slasher. That bomb is not down. He's looking.
He's going to check it.
Oh, he doesn't get it. Thieves walk away with the win. It was a collapse from Guerrillas in the end. Huge plays out of Kenny. But that round was a mess, and it all kicked off at about 4.5 seconds.
Wow. I mean, it was just bubbling and bubbling, and finally we get an absolute explosion over towards the A site. And for LAG there, they do well to wrap around to find that first kill, but there's nobody in bottom Grandma's, and from that spot, it's so difficult to control that site. You've got somebody at the back in Kenny who's done so well, then you have to jump back into the bomb, but the info is there for Thieves. There's nobody in Grandma's, and Thieves come bursting out and stop that bomb from going down. Ultimately, it came down to that 1 versus 1, but Envoy always in the better situation, especially the fact that he's 12-5. Slasher can die. I mean, he does a great job to try and track it down, but it's always a hard gunfight.
Envoy did so much work for them as well there, but realistically, Kenny, as we're going to see here, finds a seam in that first one, and these were the crucial kills. You don't have to have the most kills if you make kills like this. Gets the trade on to Gunless as well. That's 2 trades for him at the same time. Eventually does go down, but that changed this round entirely. And Envoy runs away as fast as he can, pre-aims with the MP40, and Slasher cannot make a miracle happen. But yeah, Kenny, that's what we talk about when we say quality of kills versus quantity.
Yeah, that's it. I think, you know, with a little bit more time, LAG maybe in a little bit of a better spot there, but yeah, again, there was just no Grandma's control. You can see that Slasher actually pushed up roadside to maybe just try and clear out Kenny or the backside of the site to give LAG that ultimate control. But the fact that you have no Grandma's control for LAG there is, I want to say, a bit of a slip up. It has to be said. In that situation, you're in a decent enough spot. Kenny does a great job, no doubt. But I think if you have a little bit of Grandma's control in that scenario, it's maybe a little bit easier for LAG to get something done. But Thieves, through thick and thin, kind of just about got that S&D win, so that makes things a little bit better. They would have probably expected a map 1 win and a map 2 loss, but nonetheless heading into control, we're all level, and of course into a new control as well, which we can talk about map 2 maybe a little bit more if you want, but heading into this control, things have completely changed up for these teams, especially when it comes to Gavutu, which is what we're going to go over towards. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this one's going to play out, of course, with the ticks now determining that round number 5. We so often have seen this blender of a control when it comes down to the kills that have to come through for the defensive team to get that round number 5. But now, of course, things change up, Pricey, so it makes things a little bit different.
It certainly does. Very tight game between these two teams, of course. And if you're a big fan of these teams, or maybe just what they're wearing in-game, we, of course, do have the team packs now available in Vanguard or Warzone from the Call of Duty League. Pick any team you like. You could pick LA Thieves. You could pick LA Guerrillas. Just kind of whichever team you're a favorite of, or maybe just the color scheme, Ton.
I'm curious actually which one I would pick this week. I mean, we kind of, we chop and change between them. I do like the purple ultra, complete bias aside, but nonetheless, there's plenty of fantastic ones in there, Bryce, isn't there?
There certainly is. And speaking of fantastic, we'll have map 3 coming up right here in this LA showdown. But we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, of course, more action here on the CDL.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew. For the Røkkr. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hay. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the flipping the.
Octane.
That's what we wanted. That's what I'm talking about. He don't miss.
All record deals. Tell him talk to Colin for the quote. All record eyes. Still want to act, not the ghost. For the Røkkr, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League, and we are live with the Battle of LA, and it has been a pretty spicy one so far. The hard point in the S&D have been decided by inches and not miles. It's been very, very close, and we could be looking at a 2-0 in either direction, but currently we are tied 1-1 as we head onto the control time.
Absolutely. It has been a fantastic game so far, and well, I mean, heading into the control, it's very difficult to ascertain who's going to win it. But speaking about some stats, of course, we have the map cut records there, but things have changed for control. Just to remind you guys at home, that defensive side for the 5th round is not now decided. Yeah, I know, thank God. Is not now decided on kills. It is very much decided on how many ticks you get on those points. So the little thirds that you get, more of them that you get defense if you obviously get more than the other team. But for the LA Thieves, they hold the defensive record for on this map so far. 92% percentage, I should say, of their defenses are won. So let's see if they can continue to do that.
Well, at the moment, both teams going for this at the same time, and it will be Guerrillas to open up all the killing on this map so far. And I'm looking forward to see these control ticks. It should mean that players that value their lives a little bit less and maybe get a bit more action towards the end of rounds.
I mean, that's huge though for LAG. The fact that they push Thieves in, they haven't even touched any of the points. So that kind of negates away that push that can come on through. Well played from Huke with the shots, but Thieves should be able to break out here. Huke's still in a good spot to maybe do something if he could have found that Adraze. He's got a free kill behind him as well, but nonetheless, Thieves will break out.
Trying to get a little bit through as well. Team does go down here and now. And the Thieves managed to get some progress on the board, eventually trying to get that first tick down as well. Huke's going to try and play a little bit of spoiler for it. Not going to do it. Goes in solo and gets shut down. You can see a potential retake coming in for Guerrillas already. Nice. Slasher trying to get some here, and they don't really have to play their lives. They can be a little bit more aggressive towards the boat this time around.
Slasher already just pushing up towards the beach side, so really well played from him just to lock it in and just be a little bit of a nuisance. They're not trying to get a hold of it too quickly, but now here comes the push. Goodness, that's huge, but will get taken down by his teammate. Not quite sure why there was a grenade that way from his team. He is going to now get some boat control himself, so well played from Huke there as well. There's the cleanup crew coming in for LAG. And that's just set in motion ultimately by Slasher, pushing up, getting a little bit of damage in from that side as well after he finds that initial kill. And that's ultimately is what forced Thieves all the way back here.
Huke just going to try and find a few more. I think it's been COD timing. One player has slipped through ever so slightly and managed to get on the boat, and Huke now knows it as they are losing A. I wonder if Huke will stay here and try and get it. No, they're going to try and get him off with 4. Oh. He's going back and forth. He's looking for more kills. Huke cannot be stopped now on a 5 streak. We're going to get a 6.
Oh, wow.
Managed to get it as well. 1 off the glide. Looking for another player coming through. Eventually will be taken down as Thieves get into this, but Slash is trying to stop them. But there is a minute left on the board.
Yeah, that is it taken. So at least something for the LA Thieves. That's going to be 3 ticks at least. Never know, one good break here. 7v16 doesn't really matter if you can find 4 down, but that first kill will not help.
And yeah, they've kind of disappeared. That push is gone the way of the dinosaurs, and Envoy trying to keep it alive though. Eventually will be taken down. That is no lives remaining. 3 versus 14. Kenny trying to find some magic somewhere. Even just a tick. Even just a tick at this point, and that's why it's now kind of a reward for being aggressive. They will have to find some absolute magic. Draza finds one as well, and with the dying seconds of this game, they'll try and find something.
He had to go for the chal, and at least that's what we get to see at the end of the rounds, that we get to see some sort of attempts now as well. It's not just about people playing their lives. Of course, Kenny will try and continue this streak on. I don't blame him for this one, and probably will play his life. As the defensive side is going to go over towards LAG, as expected, a convincing one at that as well. But that's 3 ticks in. Get a hold of it for the LA Thieves there, I should say. So not necessarily the worst outcome. It's always quite difficult to make that push over towards B, but that's 3 ticks over towards Thieves on that attacking side.
Well, we're going to see if Thieves can answer back into that one. That was a great start from the Guerrillas in the end. Managed to just kind of lock them in, and there was just nowhere for them to really move. And those lives bled away so fast. We're still ready. Pretty standard opening now. Guerrilla's going to go straight for this. Can they get through it? Straight onto boat. Bit of boat control.
Getting clean as well, which isn't usually the case. Usually you can see some shots coming in and finding kills for the defensive side when they are holding down green, but this is nice here from LAG. If Simp can get in and infiltrate the lines towards the back, then maybe something could be done, but well played by Kenny. Enough to spawn and finding the kills. LAG now all forced towards their spawn. B hits coming in, but they need P1 controlling Kenny, ready and waiting for that. Really good positioning from Kenny. He's going to get taken down, so B's still on the cards here for LAG.
Looking for this one now, Simp. Just can't see Draza, but we can.
They see him.
Eventually, he's actually going to back away from this. It looks like another big push towards A. They're going to try and lock that one in straight away. Of course, one of the things you've got to now realize is that teams will 100% make sure they get that A for the ticks. It has become a little bit more important now that the game's changed.
And I wonder if that's going to slow down some of these like 4-man B pushes at the beginning of the rounds. Maybe locking in here is just that a little bit more paramount. Seems going to get gunned. No good shots coming in here from Octane. 5 and 11 from him. Not the best of starts. And it's going to get taken down by Huke here. So let's see if Thieves can clean out LAG before they can even get a touch here. It's looking likely 20 seconds to go. They've done well.
Staying alive here, the Thieves. And this is kind of crazy if they don't let him get even a single tick on this one. Octane, though, ready. Finds Gunless. Should have a trade coming through straight away. Eventually will be taken down. There will be Guerrillas trying to make a move towards it. It's Huke, just gives him the double back. And eventually, the team will have to sit in here. No, not a single tick on that round.
It's a bad attack coming out from LAG, but a really good defense from Thieves in that. Well, 92% of defensive round wins on this map in particular. Kind of coming into fruition there. Very well played. And a lot of P1 control coming in there from Thieves. And I like to see that from teams, irrelevant if you're talking towards these attacks going in towards B or going in towards A. Very, very well played from the LA Thieves there. And do lock in the second round. So they're in a good spot now. Can they keep things rolling here? Can they get another decent attack underneath their belts to maybe guarantee that round 5 if we get there?
Oh, that's the thing here, realistically. Thieves know that they have the advantage when it comes to defense. They are the #1 defensive team on this map. So every tick they get now just plays into their favor. If it does go all defenses. Prestinni making a push towards green. Has managed to get that kill as well. There's a player on the flank as well, and it will be aBeZy who eventually does go down. And that is looking pretty locked tight right now.
Draws are in a good spot here to try and continue things on and maybe think over towards B, but it looks like LAG are actually going to get the clear out here and they're going to get some P1 control so they know they can find this push coming on through, and Huke will get this secured for the team. See if they can push them out and just try and get these spawns going for the LAG. Good shots from Huke once again. 4 in a row from him. Streaks would not be a bad thing to maybe try and help them in this next round.
Now trying to lock this off completely. You can see Slasher coming up top. Gonna let aBeZy maybe push forward towards Cliff and lock Thieves in. These will be thinking, how do we break out of this in the most efficient way possible? Well, opening up from Kenny. Gonna know where players are as well, though.
Nice.
Gunless shutting him down. Eventually, it's a big kill. Envoy can get it, and he will. Opens up top ring. aBeZy gonna try and lock that door by going around into their spawn. They'll be looking for him now, and he's gonna see Octane's legs before Octane can do anything.
Need a big round here if the LAG don't want to let them get a hold of anything over towards A. Maybe make something happen for you in that final round. But look at this clock being stopped over towards the B side by Envoy. He's immediately going to get taken out. But currently it's only 1 tick in for the LA Thieves. aBeZy is still going off. And that should now be the round. Thieves, I mean, there's no point even trying to get it. Let's see if you can stop the streak of aBeZy. Not quite. That will continue into the next round. But a good hold there by LAG. Thieves now with 4 ticks and heading over towards their second defense. LAG, well, indeed, the 4 or 5 to guarantee that defensive side, and then I think it might go over towards kill zone. Not sure.
If they tie it up, I believe it defaults back to kills, but
yeah, you would presume so.
An awful lot of control still to play on this one. We'll have to find out eventually how it does go down, but Huke had a huge streak there as well. You can see him bouncing around.
Absurd kill, that 4th one.
Well, let's see. And this is going to be a B hit by the look of it. They're going for that B dominance. There's going to be a few players here to kind of go for them against Thieves. And somehow Huke gets around the back, finds the first one as well. Fight going up to the ring. It will be Envoy. Envoy's still up there, and Huke now has to try and watch 2 directions. His teammates down there as well. Envoy takes down Gunless. Huke all alone. Envoy takes him down. And what was a big B push coming in from the Guerrillas has been completely shut down by one player.
I mean, I was busy. I was about to reel up and say what a great job Envoy did to just stay alive over towards P1, but he wipes them all out on top of that as well. Fantastic stuff there. Ultimately, just going to completely shut the push down on his own. Gunless eventually is going to fall to Kenny. That was brave from LAG, but they know they need ticks here to find that defensive round over towards round number 5. Right now, though, they're staring down the barrel of having to have another attack. Still 45 seconds to go. Still a lot of Call of Duty to be played, but they're forced back into this one here.
Draza eventually going to go down here, but you are right. They are trying to lock this completely on off, though. Team oh! Somehow it's time to double back. And now looking for it, trying to get these ticks onto the board. Envoy still up top, takes down Huke. Team going to go looking. And unfortunately, those two have passed like shit to the night. He doesn't know where this player is gone. Draza eventually goes for it. Seemed the better player that time.
Push going to come in here for the LAG. Start formulating something. Lives though, tied up. Imagine that Thieves are going to try and stop them, get a hold of this. They don't want to give them any hope heading into this last round, and they know if they commit to this and lose all 4 bodies, then well, you're still in a good spot to try and defend over towards B. Sasha actually has a free run through if he wants it. Thieves still trying to get a hold of A here.
Guerrillas just managing to get that second tick slowly but surely. Eventually going to get it. Somehow Kenny doesn't take down Huke down there. I have no idea how that worked. Huke's throwing bullets from the auto through. Eventually his teammates will get it. Nade coming in at the same time. Second tick done. Whereas we looking for that extension. I wonder if he's going to go B here and just stop the clock. Oh my goodness!
Christ!
Was he weak?
Slasher! That's a little bit more like it from him. 20 and 14. I think he is probably going to get taken down from his left-hand side here. Look, the push is going to start coming through. Surely gets traded. Yes, he will. That was nearly a tick into B. Did they get A? They didn't get A. They cleared them out. Had they not, surely they should be back inside. Now, Huke left in a 1 versus 1 with Kenny. That should be the round. Surely it's the round. One more player in here from LAG. That's going to be Gunless. He's going to get taken down. You got to sprint if you're the LAG. Slasher, get inside. Clear them out. Oh, he's got the gunny as well. Where's everybody else from LAG? They are done, and Thieves will eventually hold that round. And that was not enough ticks in from LAG to force that defensive round in their favor. That's going to be a Thieves defense in round number 5.
Well, considering how these defenses have gone so far, that is not the position you want to be in. I think Slasher did an awful lot of work to try and have it happen for his team, but just not quite enough, those hero plays, and now they're staring down the barrel of another map loss. Can they figure this out, though? 4 defenses for both teams in this, and an attack could make the difference. Thieves, though, looking for ring control once again.
Shots in from top green from Draza. LAG need to somehow pull a rabbit out of the hat. They haven't even looked likely winning an attacking round so far, but we know how control works. It doesn't matter how the final or the last few rounds have went. It's about how the 5th one goes, and Huke's done well to open things towards A here, and if they can lock this in, that's a good amount of time over towards B, and I really like what they're doing, pushing to get green control as well, getting your SMG up in the face of the defensive team.
There's Octane, eventually taking control of top boat. He'll find the second. No, gun by Gunless. And Gunless trying to keep that little bit open for his team there by holding down Propane. Eventually, though, there are too many guns against him and he doesn't win the gunfight. Aseem now making a push top boat. He knows where Envoy is. Easy kill for him at the same time. Knows where that second player is. Aseem continue going and now get the push into green. Looking to try and find them off the rip. They know he's going to be here, though. Look at that pre-aim coming in from Kenny. He says, I know this. I've seen the VOD. There'll be no pushes today.
Yeah, now it's Slasher trying to hold that angle from that side. Oh, just kind of a bit of a bait and switch. Envoy challenges now. Slasher needs to try and get these cuts if he can. He's doing a really good job to be doing this with the auto here up close and personal. You definitely want your SMG player out here, and for that reason, Draza will find the kills. But ultimately, Guerrillas chipping away. Look at that life advantage that they have. That might count for something over towards B. And LA Thieves have to be careful not to feed more to it. And well, there you go. 2 kills down to back immediately. Bolt control coming in. Good spot here for the Thieves.
Big fight, by the way, coming on top boat here. Draza is going to be alive, and he should be chowed any second now by Slasher, and he will. They get back into 8, stop that clock and try to get this tick through, but Envoy guns him straight away. Looks for the player up top, does go down, but it will be traded. And Guerrillas are still looking for that first control point.
They still haven't even locked in A once yet. Thieves' defense has been so fantastic. Can they continue to find these kills, though? They were 5 down now. Only down to 3, Nick that down to 2. If you're Slasher, you need to stay alive. 7 seconds. That's it.
And they've gone.
They didn't even get 1. Not one in the whole game.
It's defenses the entire way through. Thieves will walk away with map number 3. And that's going to be going for Guerrillas, but it turns out that tick change, well, it completely changes control on Voodoo.
It does in a way, but I think all of Thieves' defenses were just held so well that it kind of just didn't affect anything for the Guerrillas in terms of trying to get that 5th round. They just never even looked remotely likely. I think it was like, I think they maybe got 2 or 3 ticks in the whole game on the attack. That was 3 attacking rounds to get 2 or 3 ticks in the majority of it. I think Thieves picked up about 6, so at least they made a good effort of it on the attacks, but very, very well defended by Thieves. It has to be said, they were constantly fighting for ring control, constantly moving up on the map, being nuisance. And ring control is so important because you can basically flank around and get so many different angles from that spot to defend over towards A and obviously ultimately defend over towards B. Wow, really, really impressive for Thieves there. And honestly, Asim and Huke were trying their best just to get up in the faces, but on that final attack around, you see how many times they were trying to get a hold of green control. They weren't allowed it for more than 10 seconds at any single point. He's just clearing them out so well. Ultimately, because they get that ring control, they can flank around behind. So really, really nicely done from the sides of LAT. Get the job done. The defenses like we thought they probably would.
Massive outslay, by the way. Just huge. LA Thieves were down so many kills, but Guerrillas just couldn't get A. I mean, I don't know if we've seen that often on this map. Usually it's a gimme.
You would think so, but I think the thing is for Thieves in that scenario now, when it does come down to the fact that kills don't matter as much, you kind of know you can defend B fairly easily, so you can potentially sacrifice a little bit more over towards A, and I think that's probably the plan. That's why we see that coming in from Thieves, because, well, they can sacrifice people over towards it, makes it just that little bit easier to defend, and there you go, that's the game. Very, very well defended by Thieves, and yeah, that little tick control coming in a little bit better for the side LAT this time around and find themselves in the lead in the series before heading into a hard point that is pretty good for them.
Yeah, and that's kind of the difference here. Like, this game has been very, very close and tight in every single stretch of the word here. As we cast our mind back to talk about this, right? Think about how this series has actually gone. We have had to see some incredible plays of LA Guerrillas to take map number 1, even after Thieves looked like they had control. Then we had the S&D, a team's leading, they bring it all the way back. We go to around 11, and it looks like LAG, again, have control. Thieves then take it away. Into the map 3, both teams great on defense. LAG never capture a single tick, or sorry, never capture A once. They don't have enough ticks, even though they are slaying massively. They get the attack for the last, and Thieves walk away with a win. This has been an incredibly close game, and it kind of puts paid to what everybody's been talking about, not only on the socials, but also on the desk, right? We don't know which of these two teams is going to walk away the winner. I still don't know. And the reason for that is that neither team has looked dominant or consistent over the last few weeks.
I would argue, you know, the first 2 maps there, absolutely close, but I think that 3-2 scoreline and that control ultimately does humble LAG a little bit more, I would say.
Does it though?
Well, I think so, because I think Thieves are completely dominant. They didn't get A once. LAG did not get A once. They didn't get close. Yes, look, LAG outslayed them, but I mean, what does that matter? If Thieves are doing their job in terms of keeping them off the point, not allowing LAG to even have a sniff of getting that final defensive round, they didn't let them near it.
I'll give you that. What I will counter it with, though, is that maybe it's just a miscalculation by Guerrillas. They had the slaying; they were doing very well in that regard. They, you know, and if we were in the, you know, the old web, they would have had defense by about a mile. But maybe they're just not used to the fact that essentially Thieves are going to put more pressure on them. I will give credit to Thieves in that regard. The amount of pressure they managed to put onto A to prevent them doing anything is substantial.
It just felt like even from the first round. Just to remind you, on the first defensive hold from Thieves, LAG didn't get a single tick, not one. Not one. So that puts them in immediately a fantastic spot to get round number 5. But look, that's done and dusted as we head over towards Berlin. The stats kind of do lean towards Thieves, but it's not a bad map for Guerrillas by any sense of the imagination. 4-2 from them, and I've seen some good plays from them on this map specifically, but LA Thieves, 4-0. A very, very solid map, yet to lose it. So most of the time we don't see it for the Thieves, but the hard point for the most part has been fantastic. And can they now make it count though? First map, not fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. They were coached up on by Asim, but map number 4, they'll want to get the job done here.
Well, let's find out if it does end here. Obviously, the Battle of LA has been very, very spicy last hard point. At the moment, we see both teams running into this one. And P1 at the moment, it's one of the big money hills, funny enough. It's where the most time is through in the stats, but mostly because of this first rotation. And already you can see that both teams, Envoy doing a great job to try and lock it down, but on the other side, Asim doing the exact same thing.
Oh, shots in. Oh, Asim, find out another. And he was an absolute terror in that previous game. For the side of LAG, can he make it work here against the Thieves on Berlin? Are doing the work as best as he possibly can. Good shots into Slasher eventually as well. Needs to clear out Huke as best as he can, who finds two, but eventually that final kill will go over towards LAT. Towards these rotations. Oh, look at LAG with 13 seconds to go. They're really trying to force their way up the map as well.
And they know they have a little bit of an opportunity to push this. By the way, the spawn has just come out for them, so they know they're going to be pushing through that P1 into Ticket. Now they're trying to hold it as well. See the pinch coming in. And Guerrillas have control at the moment. The Thieves are trying to put a squeeze on.
This is one of the highest scoring points on the game at this moment in time. Berlin P2, not going to work out this time around though. That's going to be a false through for LA Thieves. And they've got Guerrillas exactly where they want them as well. Spawning up towards the back. I see now just trying to find a route through. We'll find the first one. The rest of his team to help them back up here, and look at them just trying to get Doc's control. They want to make sure that they can try and possibly get a flip over towards P3. The shots are in through the front as well. Can they find any more? No, they cannot. Envoy inside the point. Octane with a little bit of support. Good hold from Thieves so far.
This is the kind of the battle of the giants on this map as well. You did say before, Guerrillas do have a positive record at 4-2, but Thieves are technically undefeated on this map. They'll be trying to keep that streak going as well. And in this series right here, Draza finds one inside. He will be challenged for this scrap time as well, and it will be Slasher.
Gotta go with
Keep an eye on Asim. Yeah, that's the key.
He should find this kill on Envoy, or does he let him go? No, he sees him. Gonna go for the challenge here as well, and Envoy's ready and waiting. Must have got the call out. And there's the spawns locked in here for Thieves. Oh, that would have been a good kill from Envoy as well. Now for LAG, it's about the push. Which way do you go with it? They sent 3 towards the street.
Oh.
Kenny is ready and waiting. Slasher will trade it out, but that attack may well be in the dead already.
Bit of a problem here because Slasher is cutting them down as they come off respawn.
Well.
Huge amount of pressure now coming onto Octane, who has to hold it against a sea of Guerrillas. Eventually will go down to Huke. An Envoy now trying to that front door, but Slasher is more than equal to it as well. Both these two teams again just trading blows left, right, and center. Even a gunfight coming through both sides. The scene will come off the worst for it. Octane is trying to just get a little bit of an inkling here himself, but Huke is just sitting on that. Eddie won't let him through.
Yeah, really well played by LAG to find that initial break. All kind of comes from Slasher, as you pointed out. Get that lock in over towards the street side. The point's very, very close now. So we head over towards P4. Can the Thieves lock something in here?
At the moment, Thieves have got this lock. This isn't always the easiest hill to hold.
It isn't.
Okay, no, gonna find Slasher. Finds him as well, and I think Huke tried to get that trade, not quite able to. A little bit of a jumping shot. Is that going to work out for him as he tries to lock it down? Huke eventually takes him back out as well. Draza coming under fire. Envoy now going to be trying to work the routes here. He knows already there's going to be players pushing down past Train, and Octane will take him down before Kenny can.
Yeah, that's a good shot from Octane there. It's never an easy gunfight, but still, this stacking over towards Trains is going to come in here for LAG. Can they find the final break? A scene with the shots. Not just with the SMGs, got the gunny with the auto as well. 15 seconds remaining there, but because the Thieves have actually picked up the majority of the time there, though, they'll take it as a win. However, LAG are a team who are very good at locking in points over towards P5 here. Let's see if they can do it here now up against LA Thieves.
Oh, he's going to come smashing out the window looking for a player.
He's got bad time in that. Real bad time. He's going to get cleaned up from inside P2. Really good break by Thieves there, so they get control of that side to prevent the lock coming in here for LAG. It should be a scrappy hill now.
We see both teams now trying to get that re-flank on for the next spawns as well. Bearing in mind, P1 comes up after this, and that's basically a money hill according to the statistics. Eventually, though, they do break it down. Gunners is going to go down to Kenny, who was ready and waiting for that player. Octane gets another clear. But it does seem to be Thieves in control here. I say that as we can see the Guerrillas are going to get this spawn.
Shots are in, but the grenades coming in. Guerrillas do have the spawns that they want. Still 20 seconds to fight for here, and I think Thieves are probably going to come up with most of it. Although you said that. Good kills coming in here from LAG. Good grenades going in straight away from the team. Get them off the points, stop the points coming in. It's going to be Thieves leading. Look at the shots from Octane. Maybe we'll be able to find the second there, but back and forth we go. Kind of an even P5, but as you said, those rotations over towards P1 are the most important. Look at fire, though. Seems got to do well there. Can't find a single kill, and now Thieves streaming in from the right side, Bryce.
They're looking forward to it, but already a lot of gunfire coming down, and Gunless. Oh my God! Gunless says thank you. That was easy for me in the end, and that has just taken all the wind out of Thieves' sails. They thought they had the pinch on, they thought they had the opportunity, but a complete rejection of any time from P1. All at the hands of Gunless. And now they're kind of faltering because they want to make another push of this. They don't want to give away all of this time. But can they find a way?
Love this transition from Huke. Is he going to get over the right timing? Yes, he is, but Kenny knows where he's coming from. Great shots from him. Fantastic work by Thieves, but ultimately they should be in the spot where they should have been locking that one in. This score should have been much better for the Thieves looking into this one. Eventually a kill's going to come through from envoy after the first transition. Shots in from Slasher as well, traded out by Thieves. A final 9 or so will go over towards the LA Thieves, but look at this lock-in from Guerrillas once more. They had this P2 rotation on the last rotation of Hills. Can they actually lock it in for something significant this time?
Well, we'll have to see at the moment. Obviously, Guerrillas fighting for their life in this series. All the pressure on them. Let's find out how they're coping it with the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Listen in.
They could go to left. Yeah, they could.
Same as back street. I don't see the guy on fire.
One more. Well, no.
See this guy's.
He's only windows.
Top fire. Second fire.
We flip now. We flip now. Second fire. Weak Octane.
Same really weak and fire. In absolute P5. What is P5 really weak? And one got me street.
Seat ducks. Play with the ducks. One shot. Absolute dead. Three. I'm coming over.
Sam and
Top 5 Sam. They don't see it.
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to look at it. I'm looking at P5 right now. Look P5. It could be rotating now. It could be rotating now.
One guy's close and one guy's outside of P5.
I don't see him on new. I don't see him on new.
In the back.
Holding rotation to new.
I'm getting your fire. He's in the back to windows, I think. Two windows.
Yeah, I'm pushing up dogs right now.
He might be back then. I don't know.
Could be front of new. I'm holding street. I'm holding street right now. I'm pushing up.
Draza and Octane are old, guys.
Yeah, I'm pushing up dogs.
I'm trying to help the back street.
One street right now.
I spawned up front. One in the back.
Other one got me street dill. No streets, literally dogs.
I'm in the back. I'm playing tight setup. I'm playing tight setup, bro. It's all good. I'm holding your fire kind of.
Dill is in the back somewhere. Dill is in the back.
I have my fire as well.
On Octane.
Dill is dog. One working up triple windows.
One fire, one front.
Octane weak.
One the back. One the back spawns. Yeah.
One in the back.
Front, two. He's kid. One guy's front.
Yeah, front.
One fire. Let's go fire. He's low fire. Kenny. Low fire. He's dead. Nice. Good job. I need your front. They're gonna go fire. They're gonna go fire.
Fire pocket.
I didn't your front.
Then near front as well. Good job.
Front. Fire.
Another one front.
Fire. Weak. Draws.
What's the front?
Pushing in front. This is a good time. Envoy outer. One shot.
We're up by 30 LEs. We can try to go around.
I'm trying to go around left.
You can just cut as well.
I mean, that's just an absolutely brilliant transition for LAG. They get P2 completely locked in, pick up, I would say, 45 to 50 seconds on that one, and perfect spawns over towards P3 as well. That was actually just wonderful hard point from the side of LAG. They have a 30-point lead to show for it.
Yeah, they've done very well in the comms there. Small talk, giving them exactly where they are looking and trying to lock down. And now, while Thieves do have control of this at the beginning, it's hard to hold, and you can already see the squeeze coming in. Envoy, though, trying to deflect that pressure by taking down 2 before they can threaten his player in the hill. Kenny gets a 3rd, and Thieves are looking for the hold here on this one. Envoy just continuing to slay out.
6 spray for him. Streaks would be good. 7 points away from just catching up to LAG. They did all their good work and well over towards P4 as well. The kills are coming in here for LAT. The actual streaks will not come in and everybody will just fall. It's Octane left all his own. The spawns not coming in towards the back there for LA Thieves either. So LAG in a good spot to just completely counter all those points that Thieves just got.
Well, they're going to get scrap time off the back of this, and maybe not even that, as it will be Thieves to continue firing down. Draz are taking another one. They've got to keep an eye, though. You can already see Guerrillas going to be heading towards fire, trying to get this pinch and this flip potentially. As P5 rolls in, it will be Thieves on the board and in the lead, but it's still very much anyone's game.
Yeah, you can see Guerrillas already making this transition over towards plat and fire, just as said, to get that pinch locked in. Currently it's LAG with plenty of purchases in and around the map. The fight and fire is going to go Gunless's way here as well, so the flip comes on through. Now Thieves spawning back towards the docks. Can they get train station control? Yes, they can. Envoy in and around it. Second kill as well. Huke, maybe. Yes, it is. Fantastically done by Envoy. Now can make the push on through. That is outrageous one from Envoy with the pistol. And that's just well broken. Now looking for fire control himself. Wonderful work from Envoy.
Right, still see that spawn might be a problem. Guerrillas are currently leading Gunless on a 5 streak, and they are going to get this scrap at the same time. Look how far away the Thieves now are. And they are going to have to fight for every single inch they want to move up this map, as Gunless has got 6. And that nade takes him off of it.
And that's the only thing that can stop him. Both these teams just trading big, heavy blows time and time again. It's not like we're getting little bits of scraps here and there. Both teams locking in big time, and no better spot to do it for LAG to force a map number 5 over towards P1.
Huge fight going on in the hill, by the way. There will be a Seam who walks away with it. Octane's going to come into trouble as the Huke peppers him up, and the Seam get 3. Make that 4. He's on a 5 streak as well. And they are about to lock this in. Thieves' undefeated streak is 9 seconds away from going to the wind. And I just don't think they can get their ton.
Gotta go. It's gotta be Octane. Can he get inside? Yes, he can. Have they broken it in time though? 249. Can they find the second amount of kills here? They cannot. Map number 5 we go. The perfect record is no more from the LA Thieves, and well played from Guerrillas. The catalyst for that is that P2 rotation, then over towards P3. They switched the game up there and did so well from then on out. And the transition over towards P1, it's got to be there for the Thieves. They were too busy scrapping. I mean, I will say LAG did so well to force them towards those dock spawns. Consistent control in and around top 3. Very, very well played. I kind of want to give a shout out to Slasher there. Every single time I've seen him in so many good spots, just locking down rotations for his team, locking down angles as well, and just completely shutting down Thieves on multiple occasions. You know a team's going to get the job done, no doubt, inside the hill, but Slasher with a good game as well. And for the Thieves, absolutely floundering, and back over towards map number 5 we go once more.
Yeah, unbelievable. By the way, coming into this one, a lot of people would have said that the Thieves had Hardpoint on lock. They're definitely one of the statistically best teams in the game for that game mode, and they've lost both of them, Ton.
It's a strange one because we were looking at these maps and we were thinking to ourselves, why have Guerrillas picked Tuscan and Berlin hardpoints? I mean, surely you just choked the series up here, but apparently not. I mean, we were looking at this beforehand. We were thinking, yeah, this is probably over quite quickly with how the maps are looking. Maybe a 3-1 Thieves, but the fact that we're heading to a map number 5 is bizarre to me, to be honest.
It certainly is, but I am very much looking forward to it. Well, we're going to go to a quick break now. When we come back, though, we will have map number 5 here in the Battle of LA in the CDL.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Battle of LA here on the CDL. And at the moment, we are seeing some big fights going down from two key members of these two teams. Kenny and Asim are doing everything they can. But what matters now is what happens in the Game 5 tunnel.
It is ultimately everything you've done up until now becomes null and void as we head into a map number 5. It's time to wake up, Kenny. Come on. We just said you're the star player of the series so far for Thieves, and here he is yawning. I have an excuse. It's 10:30 in the UK, but nonetheless, he does not. Heading into map number 5 for Search and Destroy. Yesiko. The struggles have been there for the LA Thieves time and time again. We've said it so many times. If they confess, because they're kind of like Ultra, except not hardpoint. It's S&D. That's the problem. Although saying that, all they've lost is hardpoint so far. So let's see if they can switch it up here. A 1-2 record on Desert Siege is not going to be something you'd be looking at for it being the Thieves fan and being hopeful for this map number 5 victory. LA Guerrillas though, only 1-1. I'm very, very curious how this one's going to work out. And honestly, with the way that this series went for so far, Brucey, I actually haven't got a clue. I just don't know anymore.
No, this is very, very true. I mean, it didn't look for good reading there on the statistics for the Thieves. Well, they did with that last S&D, and they've lost the hard points, but they were statistically better. So we'll throw that all in the bin here and claim it's magic. Let's see how they get on already, though. Bit of aggressive start for Thieves, taking control of Palace.
A complete control. Huke's going to win that gunfight. Have absolutely no right to. And now left in the 3 versus 3. Palace control for Thieves is important as Drazar is able to find Huke. Asim, no good shot's going to go over. Can he find the second as well? Not quite there. And Voigt will answer back. Now a 2 versus 2.
See Slasher looking to just see if he can find anybody come out of the back of Palace here. And he's going to have to team up with Gunners, who's still trying to go Overwatch towards A. And they're both just making sure to check their flank as well. At the moment, it's going to be Gunners with the sniper already. Brings it back down. 1 versus 2 now for Drazar.
Oh, he's in a really tough spot now. SMG in hand. Gunless and Slasher with the sniper. We're saying that if you can get rid of Slasher, then suddenly you're in a 1 versus 1 with the sniper. He's just going to get away. Doesn't have bomb though. Time, maybe enough, maybe.
I think Gunners has seen him. Or maybe not, actually. Drazar just playing the routes here, trying to figure out if he can pick a player off.
Oh, maybe had a chance.
Well, eventually going to be found here. Chooses every single angle and eventually not the right one. Guerrillas take the first round.
If he has bomb there, that's quite doable. Really, just too difficult. I think it's very well me saying that he had a chance there, but he can't see the players. I think it's one of those though, like when you're up against a 1 versus 2 and one of the players has a sniper, you always have a shot. Gunner's never going to be in the best position to try and, well, maybe trade that one. If Slasher does go down. Well, Health both played together, knowing that they can potentially get that trade if they need to, but they don't need to in the end. It's just an easy shot coming on through. Looking like a quick B hit coming in here from LAG, though. Thieves don't seem ready for it. It's on Octane.
This is all information. And Octane is going to be got by Slasher. Big nade over the top. That bomb is now going down. Envoy may chow this, or at least throw a shoulder to figure it out. The nade's going to try and go in. Team has got out clear.
Envoy is able to get behind the bomb site, but still gets gunned. Draws her from behind, though. This may be absolute chaos, but it's Gunless who's there. He doesn't see him as he pushes over. Kenny will get the trade now in a 1 versus 2. Technical 1v3 for Kenny to try.
And they are going to play around this. He knows somebody's going to be outside trench as well. He's looking for Huke. Can he find him? And they are just going to play shoulders with him all day long, and eventually Yassine takes the gunfight. And Guerrillas go up 2-0. And for Thieves, it's not looking the best at the moment. We said coming into this, statistically, they are the much worse team on S&D. We would throw stats in the bin. Can they find their form?
They need to quickly. Last time around, they fought for Palace control on the attack. They'd eventually get a hold of it, but couldn't make it count. LAG just do a really, really good job at the shock and awe tactic over towards B, and Thieves don't match it. Octane, just, I mean, you can't really do much there for him. He is sitting at 0-2, but on your run, grenades coming over, not much you can do. Looking like an A hit going to come in here from Thieves, and a heavy, heavy B defense for LAG, so works out in their favor this time.
Oh, really going for the push here as well. Oh, he almost caught Huke. And Nate's coming over on top of him. They're trying to stay alive for it, but that bomb has gone down. Big advantage here now to Thieves. They've just got to resist the pressure. Already Guerrillas stacking for this one. Gunners and Huke. It'll be Drazar first up. You can see them all around him. Is he going to be able to win this first gunfight? No. Huke takes him down.
Gunless with the Overwatch as well, just trying to help his teammates find this push on through. Are they going to be jumping on the defuse very, very shortly? I'd imagine so. Asim's going to find another kill, and Thieves' defense is just crumbling here. Octane's going to be able to find one. That's a huge kill from Envoy. Now it's Octane left in the 1 versus 2.
He's done so well so far to keep this pressure off. I think he just saw Gunless as well. Now he's backing off completely.
Well played.
He knew where Gunless was in the end, and eventually Gunless will win the gunfight, but does not have the time, and Octane has played that round spectacularly. Huge plays coming in from Thieves just to deflect the pressure. Huke was not able to win that gunfight. That was such an influential gunfight as well. It would have given him a bigger life advantage. But Thieves going to be happy to get that one on the board.
Good for Octane for the confidence there as well. Was sitting at 0-2 before that, but just watching from the back with the auto is kind of his job, isn't it? Very well played in the end. We'll just waste that time down. LA Thieves now on the board. 2 kills for Octane. That will be some of the most important in this game so far. Big B hit coming in from both teams.
See him go for the pre-fire. Not going to see him. His teammate will eventually pick up that kill as well, and it goes down to a 2 versus 2 very, very quickly. There's nades and bullets just spit from both sides. You can already see now that rotation has come in.
I absolutely love that from aBeZy. That's such a fast rotation considering everything went down. Bomb down now, and the Thieves will not have any clue.
Gone all the way around.
No, they have zero info here, but they're not a thing.
Realistically, Envoy wants to wait for Kenny to try get in a position for these trades because they've got to find the kills. That nade's going long, trying to find Huke. Well, he gets the hit marker as well. That's information at the very least. That stun come down is going to actually force them to come out ton.
Oh, Asim survives there as well as Huke trades it 1v1.
Kenny has to find him now. He has to find him now, and he goes for the jump shot, and it's not going to be good enough. How on earth he stayed alive there, and you can see the frustration on Kenny's face. He knows that retake was just a split second away from going their way.
I mean, they do very well to get it that close, to be honest with you. It's kind of the Hail Mary grenade out on nothing. Doesn't kill Huke, but lets them know where he is. And then from there, it's about trying to find Asim as well. Kenny, always a tough spot. But that's really about the play call that comes through from LAG. Absolute chaos over towards B. The kills get traded 2v2. And they hot tail it over towards A. Very well played from LAG. Those decisive moments can win search and destroys, and it's putting them 3-1 up. Draws on code though, trying to answer back with a bit of control over towards the train track side, but Huke ready and waiting to pounce.
Yeah, they are, and they try the double nade there. Trying to find out where that nade spot was, but no hits for them or anything. Not even a kill or a hit marker. And that has slowed down their push now, though. Kenny opens up with first blood.
For a little bit of info, the shots in from Envoy. Oh, a slither, and I mean a slither of health for Gunless to get away. But look at all of this here going on. Huke's going to get taken down as he tries to push and retake the site. It should be an easy enough plan here for the Thieves, but they're in a 4v2 nonetheless.
And at 4 versus 3, making it 2 versus 2. Slasher has completely and totally broken Thieves' push there. They had the numbers around the bomb site, and it's gone to nothing.
Why are they not planting?
Oh, I don't think they were confident enough for it, and I love this. Guerrillas have called the play. They have called the ball completely. And they said, right, rotate the entire map right now. Gunless is behind. Oh, he's going to find Draza as well. And somehow Thieves have fallen apart at the seams. And it will be Octane in a 1 versus 2. And he's going to go for the push already. And Gunless just runs away from him. Does eventually get that kill. And you can see Slash on the other side of the map saying, all right, I am going to go hide in a corner. But how on earth has that fallen apart from Thieves?
I mean, you had 4 of you out on the train side. You kind of half cleared out Palace. Right, you're against Slasher and Gunless. Where are they going to be? They're going to be towards the back. You know Gunless has been sniping. Slasher has an auto. No doubt.
I think the issue was overconfidence. Like, they went to go and take Gunless down. Like, that was a push to try and get Gunless. They were willing to sacrifice the bodies for the trade on Gunless. The problem being is that Slasher was ready for it.
I mean, nonetheless, I absolutely love the play call again from LAG. Getting aggressive, being very decisive. But that double flank, I mean, Thieves have got no clue.
Oh, trying to do a little bit of magic. Can't quite get him. Might go for an aggressive push here as Gunless gets that first pick. And now they're just being aggressive. Just trying to be a nuisance here in Palace.
Yeah, he's done well. Is Octane going to see this push coming in? Kenny. Oh, he's not in the best of spots. Somebody behind him. There's the little bit of a Q. That stun's not going to help things either.
Kenny wants to try and make something of this. Can we see that bomb going down to aBeZy giving away, but Kenny is in a great spot here. He can find somebody. Envoy's taking down Slasher. He's taking down Huke as well. 2 versus 3. Guerrillas do have bomb down, and Gunners gets 1. Seems going to throw a shoulder. Manages to get out there with his life. Doesn't get Envoy either, though. Kenny and Envoy going to try and retake. Can they find it? Team takes him. And Envoy trying to get the trade here as well. He's going to be able to get it, and Gunners knows where he is. This is a big chow. It's a huge chow from Envoy. But he has to try and get it because he has no time left, and Gunners is just going to lay down. And he knows if he goes for Gunless, he won't have time to defuse. And so Gunless just sits there anyway, and he can guns. And Guerrillas get another round onto it, and it smiles all around. They are feeling good.
Yeah, PS is getting pumped now. This game might be over. I mean, this guy's been so instrumental in this search and destroy for them. Fantastically well done to stay alive. And as soon as you see, Kenny was actually on a really good flank by the looks of things, and it just didn't continue. He tries to help his team out mates out over towards B. Has to come back and help, and then completely gives up the flank that he did have. 5-1 Guerrillas. Gunless is 9-3. Very nearly 10.
Trying to. Seam with this bomb just moving ever so slightly out now. It's just going to be sitting behind it. And he's got that hit marker, so that's information going down, and Sasha gets the first blood as well. Octane almost catches a couple of bullets to the face and has to back off.
Good call here from Thieves. This bomb's going to go down over towards A. They've got to defend it 3v4. And things like that, that wasted grenade, I wouldn't have hated it just to keep a hold of it. But anyway, let's see if they can do it.
Well, the pressure's now going to come in. Guerrillas looking to just eliminate them now. They cannot peek anything as Gunners is watching. 2 versus 3. Now it's just Draza left alone to keep Thieves in this series. Finds the first, though. And they're looking for him, unfortunately, and Slasher's going to get it. And that's going to take him down. The Battle of LA has been decided. It's the Los Angeles Guerrillas who walk away the champions in a dominating map number 5. And they are looking good going into the major. And I cannot say the same for Thieves.
It's absolute disaster time for the Thieves, it has to be said. Search and Destroy was kind of continue. A very, very close game, number 2 on the new look Bocage, but nonetheless, we head over towards map number 5, and they get smoked. I mean, that was the Gunless show. 10-3 out of him, and just multiple situations from the Thieves that shouldn't be happening. Think of the 4 men that they have over towards the side of A. That bomb could have went down. So many different situations. I think there may have been 2v4s there. And that completely changes it up. That in that scenario is then a 4-3 instead of being 6-1 down. It's such a different scoreline if you win your situations where you're at an advantage. So many times they give those advantages up, and well, Thieves heading into the major need a very quick turnaround, and if it doesn't happen, changes have to be made. It has to be said. That is just not a good search and destroy performance. It's not a good performance overall. No, you don't win any hard points either. It's just, it's a bad performance. It is, really.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Thieves. I mean, you're statistically one of the best teams at hardpoint in the game. You lose both of them. Statistically one of the worst S&D teams, and that's the issue, right? If you have strengths and weaknesses, then you at least be strong in some places and weak in others, and not just kind of all over the place. But yeah, LAG also playing very, very well today. I cannot hype them up enough. We saw incredible performances out of Asim. We saw Gunless turning up in round 11. Slashers had some very influential kills all the way through, and Huke just doing Huke things. Yeah, the major is looking a little bit spicy, Ton.
It is really starting to heat up, isn't it? So throughout some of the competition in the mid-pack especially. But yeah, I think I completely agree with you, if I'm honest. You know, when you think about LAG, you think Huke and Asim are always kind of performing, and you need those ARs to be there alongside them, and they really were today. And that's what's made the difference on the hard points specifically. And of course, that final Search and Destroy, a really good game out of Gunless, and Slasher gets the job done for them. That is a very, very good win for the Guerrillas. That will give them some confidence. But for Thieves, it just keeps getting worse. And it's not looking good. They really do need to turn it around quickly. They have the talent though, and that's the question, isn't it? Will this change come through? You know, everybody's heard rumors here and there, but I just don't think you change before the major. There's not enough time to do something. You kind of just have to ride it out and hope things change by some form of miracle at this stage. It's really not looking good. They're not a team that's happy to sit in the mid-pack, and right now they're at the lower end of that.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, let's find out what our beautiful desk has made of that Battle of LA. It was kind of crazy.
You know, it was crazy. 10, I'm going to keep you there for a second, man. You were not fun at all. Like, we saw what Paris did before Major 1. They got a team change, and they started winning. You know, if chaos wants to happen before Major 2, I'm all for the drama, man.
But the thing is, I just don't know. You've got like 3 or 4 days. Paris changed because they hadn't won a bloody game. I mean, Thieves
can't make a change right now.
You guys aren't excited.
No, you can't. You can't make a change now.
It's not even an opportunity to make a change.
True. We have a week, but you know what? Great commentary, guys. Let's go ahead and break this game down because the Battle of LA was actually won by LAG. The Guerrillas were looking really good, and aLLeY, gotta say it, for the first time this year, I've never seen them smile so hard.
Absolutely, and you know what, for me, it's been Slasher. I think it's been his huge turnaround from the start of the game that's really elevated LAG's play. You have more consistency now in your main, and Slasher, you can see him making the calls in the search and destroys. He's getting a lot of opening kills and clutches for this team. Just overall, the vibe is so much better for LA Guerrillas.
You got that right, and everything was started off by that first hard point because the Scump play of the game happened to be when LAG were able to clutch things out to win the first map 250 to 235.
Yeah, I mean, a beautiful gameplay out of these guys. I mean, you saw at the very end, they ended up having to get control of that P1 where they would just stop at Thieves from coming on in. aBeZy gets a massive 4K here in the back of Church, and then, you know, they just end up getting rotation to P2 where they hold them off. But it got a little bit scary here because Thieves were hitting through, getting a couple kills. But, you know, for LAG in crunch time on this map and on that Berlin, it was just absolute beauty in terms of communication, in terms of rotation. On that Berlin as well, they had the right side of the map for the entire time, right? Like, they gave them that P4 spawn and just held the right side of the map. They got to P1, they held that down, they won that. And then here at the end, it was just Drazah need to stay alive. He needed to get a kill. Drazah just holds it, doesn't get a kill right here, and then they end up winning. So it was just LAG in the end, in the crunch time moments, they had good communication, they were able to clutch up and get the W.
They're holding it down, and going off of what aLLeY said a moment ago, watching LAG progress this year is kind of beautiful, right? We start off the year seeing a team just go absolutely nuts against New York. After that, you see Huke go crazy at Major 1. You see Gunless get extremely comfortable, especially with the snipes and search and destroy, right? And now big boy Slasher stepping up.
Yeah, he played good.
Yeah, exactly. He played really good. Now, as this team gets better, we're looking at another LA team actually not looking so hot now, Nameless.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it for the LA Thieves. Drazah just hasn't had enough pressure on the map. I mean, he had like a 0.7 in that series. In the control, he didn't play well. They ended up winning it because defense is just too strong. And then obviously also in the Berlin, you need more out of him. In the beginning of the game, I thought he was their best player, and then he just has fallen off since then. So you need to get more out of Drazah if LA Thieves are going to be winning hard points once again. And then their game plan. I was talking about the Berlin there once again. They had the P4 time. They got that. And then going into P5, they didn't flip the spawns. And then going into P1, they still didn't flip the spawns once again. So it just seems like their game plan is off on some of these rotations. LAG capitalized their mistakes in the search and destroy, on the Berlin, and on the Tuscan at the very end. So, you know, big shout out to LAG for making those improvements.
Gotta say, it hurts to see LAT lose, but it's really good to see LAG win. And we actually have our post-victory spotlight with the one and only Huke. Man, congrats on the big win. I have to ask you straight up. You guys start off the year struggling, right? Like, let's be completely honest. There were bumps in the road, and you guys have a good veteran roster. Now everybody's getting into this swing of things. How do you feel personally about the success that you guys have so far?
Man, I mean, we're playing really well right now. Yeah, we had a little bit of a rough start, but to be honest, like, we still knew that whole time that all those matches were winnable. So, you know, we still kept confidence in our play, essentially. But no, overall feeling good, you know, just looking to continue the momentum. Yeah.
And obviously, heading into this weekend, there was 2 giant changes to the game, with the bomb site getting moved to that outer plat on Bocage, and of course the Tuscan moving to Tix as well. What was it like having to play in those changes now in a real match game, and if you think it might have helped or hurt your team?
Honestly, I mean, we haven't had too much practice on it, but, you know, we've all been putting in time on our own, like, to get adjusted to that type of stuff. So I think we were pretty prepared overall.
Huke, talk to me about the search and destroy improvements, because, you know, you guys played some maps that, you know, you haven't had too much success on in the past, and, you know, almost running away with that bow cage at the very end. I feel like if Slasher flanked a little bit faster, you win that map, and then also on the Desert Siege, that was a beautiful performance. So what have you guys been going over, and what's leading to the better gameplay in search?
Well, I would say all gas intended. Austin. Austin, and not only Austin, but as a team, we've all been putting in a lot of time in S&D. So he's really helped out, you know, shape our gameplay, and really just like put it together and be a real team. And it shows in our gameplay. So it's been nice.
Well, shout out Austin. Let's go.
Shout out to your whole team, man. Shout out to you as well.
Shout out the whole team, bro.
Exactly.
Bro.
Exactly.
Hey,
you closed out the day with a 1.14. You absolutely killed it. Anything you want to say to the fans out there that's been holding you guys down all year?
To the fans, man, I genuinely appreciate all the fans. I mean, you allow us to do what we do. So thank you guys so much for watching us do what we do, man. That's all.
I love it, man. Keep winning. Can't wait to see you next week in Minnesota. Safe travels, by the way, and I'll catch you later.
Yeah. See you later, man.
I got you.
Peace out, Huke.
You know what? Okay, so, you know, all of us have competed in, you know, many different games, right? You two specifically Call of Duty. Seeing players about their dreams and just having success like this, especially after facing adversity at the beginning of the year. You know, Nameless, man, I love LAG's story so far.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, the turnaround that they've had, and it's nice. You know, we got to interview Temp, got to interview Huke. Both these guys spent a lot of, you know, time teaming with each other. They've been, you know, struggling a little bit the last couple of years, but finding some wins, man. It's been good.
You got that right. We also have one more replay for the Game Field tactical play of the game with Huke and aBeZy, and those two went absolutely off. I'm loving this duo that just runs the subs in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a 2v3 situation here. aBeZy is clearly in the advantage, up 2-0 as well. You can see the bomb making its way over to that plot side. We were just talking about how that movement might have affected the gameplay. As seen, though, he does get a big opener in the back, and Huke combines for 2. Bomb goes down, and even though the trades here go in their favor, they both turn to this player going for the aggressive push onto the A site, and that was definitely a momentum switch for them.
You know what, and talking about the AR play as well, as long as both of those two continue fragging out and slaying, they open up the map so much for the AR players out there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen Slasher play so well. I mean, even in that control, honestly, I really actually liked what I saw out of LAG. Even on that last offense, they were outslaying them. They had the kill lead by 6-7 kills the entire time. Kept pushing up to front green, getting those kills, but, you know, just a couple clutch kills at the very end. If they were able to get, they could have closed it out. So, you know, going up against the best defensive team on Gavutu, I thought LAG showed their best effort, and a lot of that was due to Slasher, because this guy was pushing up, getting the kills at the right time. He was getting mixy, man. He's playing more aggressive.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more match of the day. When it came to pick'ems at the beginning of the day, I was absolutely wrong. We saw Paris start off with a big win over Toronto Ultra. Recently, in the Battle of LA, LAG proved that they're the best team out there at the bottom side of Cali. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, you ready? We got Atlanta FaZe, and we have Florida Mutineers. Florida Mutineers start off the year really good, and let's just see if they can show us that the progress that they have had so far is going to pay off against one of the best to ever do it. Atlanta FaZe, we'll see you guys on the other side of this break to close out the day with our last series.